I was telling you how I really thought that the Faraway Paladin has really been getting better and better every single week, and I think it has reached a peak of really really like I don't want to say goodness, but I feel like it's reached a peak, and it's kind of riding that peak now. I felt like first episode really good, pretty good. Second episode really good. Third episode really good. Fourth, and then I feel like fourth, fifth, sixth episode were like it hit a peak of like excellence, and I feel like it hasn't let up since then. Like this episode, what I felt where it conveyed that excellence was the way that it displayed emotion. Like this episode got me pretty emotional. As a viewer, I felt like myself kind of like, semi tearing up a little bit, and it was really just watching two things, which was the relationship that now Will has a friend in Meldin, whatever his name is, the elf, and the way that he was expressing that was, hey, blood, Mary, I finally have found somebody in this world that I can call my friend, and it's finally happened for me. And then they show Will, cheersing over some wine, and finally having an experience that in the 15 or 15, 16 years that he's been in this world so far, that he just never has experienced before. And I was like, okay, that's pretty emotional. And then you have Menel, talking to you about the old lady, and where she came from, where he came from before, and how he was born a half elf, and the lady who went into the elf village ended up pregnant, and she died shortly after giving birth to him. And as he was in the elf village, he spent this awkward time growing up faster than his elf brethren, but then also aging way slower than his human brethren, and he had no place in the elf village, but he's also out of place in the humans realm. So he's in this really in between, to where he lives an exponentially longer life than humans, but the aging process to where he displays an age is much slower than a proper elf. So he's never really had a place to feel like he belongs. And as he had an almost traumatic dying experience, he stumbled upon this village as he passed out near it. And he was taken in by the old lady. And at that time, she wasn't the old lady. She was a young lady. But he's taken in by her, and he's lived with her since then. And he finally felt like it was a place that he could belong. But yet the village gets destroyed. The old lady dies. So he's always had this sense of loss. He lost his mother. He lost his elf village. He lost his friends. He lost this. He lost that. So he's always had this struggle between wanting to die, and that's emotional conveyance. You know what I mean? So I felt like the writing was just so good. And I really like just the way that they kind of, sent that message to all of us. But they did it in a nonchalant, very well-written way. And I really vibed with it a lot. The other thing, too, is I really love the path. Also, excuse me, guys. I'm very, very sick, too. So I hope I don't cough. I'm trying to hold in a cough right now. But I also really like the way that... I also really like the journey that Will is on now. And Graceville, said it the best in this episode. She said, your path now is one to spread light to the faraway darkness. And, that was made very apparent that there are certain places within this continent that the kingdom doesn't govern. They're like, it's kind of like the outskirts. And on the outskirts, it's humans versus the demons, and it's survival. And laws don't reach there, and certain things don't reach there. So the people who are there are typically the people who are prior bandits, and people who were criminals, and people who just didn't have a place to be. So if Will can go and spread light to them and get Graceville's light spread and pass a message along, he could be slowly affecting people to live better, as he also exterminates the demons that live in those realms, which I think is a really cool mission for him to be on. But overall, I I think the episode was really, really good. I thought the episode was excellent. I really liked that Will was able to exterminate the demons with ease. He was basically able to just like whop whop, like no problem. So much so that Menno was like, "Yo, what are you, bro? Like, what kind of monster are you? Like, where'd you come from? Like, like it's so ridiculous, especially because now their next mission is to go and head to the undead corner, right? Like the undead area to go and take them at their root and to upheave them at the root to eliminate the demons in this area and the undead. But now he's gonna be able to do it with the friend Menno, which is really cool. So I like the power disparity between Will and the demons, because really it's gonna take like he was able to defeat a god. So really, it would take someone of that stature to really give him a run for his money at this point. So everybody else is just going to be kind of like fodder for him, which I like that as well. Overall, I think the episode's really good. Will has a friend. He has a purpose. He's on a journey. And Graceville is going to be guiding him in his light. And he's slowly going to get people to convert to follow Graceville's light as they see the miracle of returning people to the path of death and recreation, death and rebirth, and they get to visually see that. And he got a bunch of new followers here, and now Menno is a follower of the Goddess of Light as well, and I think that's really cool. Overall, really vibe with the episode. Really thought it was really good. Thought the writing was excellent. Another really solid week of the Faraway Paladin. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys being here for another week. As always, I'll see you guys next week for episode number 8. If you guys missed our reaction, you guys know what to do. Go check out our reaction. It's going to be right over here. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out, my friends.